The Chicago United map represents coalitions and compromise. And in that spirit, I'm committed to working with all of my colleagues towards a resolution short of a lengthy and costly political campaign.
It's all but certain Chicago's new ward boundaries will be picked by voters this June. Negotiations over an updated map have all but stalled at City Hall, and now there will be two options on the ballot. 33 alder people have signed on to the so-called Chicago United proposal. It's the plan backed by the Rules Committee, the Council, Black Caucus as well, and several other members. Their map would preserve 17 of the current black majority wards, but the Latino Caucus, well, they've argued that Chicago's growing Hispanic population deserves more representation at City Hall. Their plan would add 2 majority Latino wards for a total of 15. Now, some have warned the fight could get pricey. So far, aldermen have racked up more than $1 million in legal bills they say taxpayers will be on the hook for. Mayor Lightfoot has declined to get involved, but says a referendum probably isn't a good idea.
I think there's still time, but obviously time is running out. I don't see a referendum, particularly this year, where you've got from the governor on down, every state elected official, a number of judges, county officials, the works. This is going to be a very large, long ballot. To put another issue on that maybe, I don't know where it will be positioned, but worst case, if it's at the end of that ballot, very few people are going to hang around.
Turnout for the last 2 primary elections in Chicago has hovered around just 30 to 35%. That puts a small group of voters in charge of the map that will govern city politics for the next 10 years. It'd be the first time in 30 years that that's happened. My next guest says the fight goes much deeper than just a racial breakdown. 8th Ward Alderman Michelle Harris I know the title you use is leading the latest effort as chairwoman of the Committee on Committees and Rules, and she joins us this morning in the WGN studio. Alderman, it's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So you got a lot of work ahead of you, a lot of struggle going on. Is it worth the risk to send this to referendum? Mayor Lightfoot has said she wants to see a compromise. You're her floor leader. What are the chances we see a compromise?
At this point, I'm always happy for serious and truthful negotiation, so I welcome us to get in the room and talk. But I think the Latino Caucus has made it pretty obvious that they don't want to negotiate anymore. They want to take it to the voters, and that's what they said publicly. And so the 33 of us feel that we should take it to the voters at this time and let the voters decide.
Well, in fact, in a press conference, along the lines of what you said, I think I'm quoting you, basically said, Gil Villegas, fellow alderman, let me know when you're serious about coming into the room and working on the map. Right. So I called Alderman Villegas to see what he had to say. His answer was, we're there. He has been in the room 60 times. He said the problem is they're not willing to look at the numbers that matter, which is that the Black Caucus wants to look simply at numbers of people who are eligible to vote, and Villegas and his group basically say that's not all the Latino population.
And it's not. So here's it's a very complicated thing. So maps are drawn by total population. So
regardless of
the age. So total population. But the law says that you have to have citizen age voting population to kind of govern who's able to pick someone. So we can make 16, 17 Latino wards, but they never be able to elect an elected official that looks like them. So why would we stack communities with Latino population and then say, oh, a white person could win it, a black person could win it? So in our case, we gave up an African-American ward. The 34th ward is now 21. About 44,000 people, and along with the 3rd ward and the 4th ward gave an additional about 10,000 people. So we took that population and we distributed it among the greater South Side, where all the major issues were, to create fully represented African-American wards.
So when you look at the numbers, which I've already said, black population down, Latino population up, and Villegas has said, look, let's start over. Let's start this process over and let the data drive the decisions. But what I'm hearing you say is, well, yeah, but it depends what data you use. Exactly. He says, let's take a look at the data of all the people who live in a ward, and you're going, well, no, if they all can't vote, we can't count them. How is compromise even possible when you can't agree on the data you're going to use?
But the law is going to dictate that. So the problem is, in the state of Illinois, it's led by the voter age and the citizenship. So citizens' age, voting age population dictates who, in this case, can really win legal suit. So it's a law issue.
Is that the voting age as of this moment? And I say that because this map will hold for 10 years. You got people who are 17, they're going to vote next year, or 16, 15, who are going to vote in the coming years. So they're looking, what about my voice for the next 10 years?
So it's the law. And so while I totally agree with you, it's a stationary position at a stationary time. And you have to do that or it's always a moving target. And so the law says that who's ever 18 at the time they did the census tract, that's who we're going to use and that's who we're going to count. Will it mean that next 10 years they have extra gains? That's wonderful if in 10 years they're going to have extra gains. But today, and for today's number, we're using the census tract data.
Well, I think you'd say on the bright side, both maps create the first Asian majority ward.
So we created an Asian ward.
And they have two.
And they have two. And so we've also we produced 2 additional wards, because in this map, when they walked in the door, they were 12 wards, because 25, which is a historic Latino ward, became a white ward. So that made them 12 Latino wards. We were able to make 12 a Latino ward and push the numbers up for them. And we created literally another Latino ward on the south portion. So, I mean, we've pushed their numbers up. So they are now 14 wards. Again, I said we could create 16, 17 Latino wards by diluting their population, and that's what they do to each other. In fact, in their own map, they've diluted their own base to create that extra 15th ward.
Well, one of the things, again, Alderman Villegas said to me was, he goes, some of the people that your caucus is not counting, the people who aren't old enough to vote, he said they're not counting them for our wards, but they are getting counted in their numbers to create the African-American wards.
Oh, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. So the law is the law. If I can't count you at 17 in the Latino ward, I can't count you at 17 in the black ward.
But you're using them to create the overall size of wards, because what you're using the general census data to do, of course, is to be sure that each ward is the same size as other wards.
Exactly. So each ward is the same size. So we're roughly with a deviation of about 10%, but
which is allowed by law.
Is allowed by law. So you'll be plus or minus that 10%, which equals out to 5% really when you split the baby down the middle. But no ward is different. My ward isn't any different because I have African-American people. I'm a 98% African-American ward, and I have high voter age population. But the 17-year-old is going to turn and be a voter next year is not counted. So how could you say that I'm using a different metrics?
One of the things you said, and I don't mean to misquote you, so I mean to paraphrase you, but you basically said something along the lines of, voters don't really care about this fight. They want us to move on to more important issues. But then my question has to be, do you think your voters and voters in Chicago really don't care who represents them and how their communities get divided up?
I do think they care about who represents them. I do think that African Americans, like anybody else, want to elect a person that looks like them, that will understand them, that understands their community and the plight that they go through. And so the map is a way of equalizing that throughout the city of Chicago. And so whether it's Latino, white, or black, or Asian, the Asians are fighting for a war because they want to elect someone that looks like them. So it does care. They do care.
You said early on in our conversation that this is very complicated. I couldn't agree with you more. I was trying to draft questions that our viewers will get as well. It's hard to understand. But let me ask you this. When we all go, if there's a referendum and we go into those voting booths, what will we see? And I'm not sure this has been determined yet. But what I mean is, do we see 2 maps? Do we see a list of alder people who support each side? What do we see?
You will not see a list. You will not see a map. You will see the list of aldermen and of women on a ballot.
So we're looking for maybe our alderperson and say that's who I'm going to support?
I think that the messaging will happen. So once we get into a full-fledged campaign, we'll educate the public on how to look for it and what that looks like and how you get past the issues to the ballot.
I'm kind of thinking, because you have little names here, I want to get your reaction. Yours is the Chicago United map.
Yes.
Latino Caucus is called the People's Coalition map. Doesn't this become a marketing game?
And at the end of the day, it will. It'll be whoever has the ability to get out and tell their story the best.
And that means a lot of money going into this.
It's money at the end of the day.
They have Change Illinois behind their map as well. You concerned about the power and the money that comes along with those efforts?
I don't know, to be honest with you, if Change Illinois stays considering they were told they could change their map. And the fact that they can't change their map may be a non-starter for Change Illinois.
But as you sit here now, it looks like we are going to referendum. Don't expect this thing to get resolved. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Here's what I'm saying. I am hopeful that we get to 41. So that the taxpayers do not get stuck with a big bill.
Alderman Michelle Harris, thank you for coming in. Alderman of the 8th Ward,
Yes.
thank you for your time here
Thank
today.
you.
Good luck. I don't want to be in your shoes. All right.